Doctors Without Borders has warned that an anti-immigrant group in South Africa known as Operation Dudula could be endangering lives as it blocks immigrants from accessing healthcare. Now, the country's constitution guarantees healthcare access to everyone regardless of nationality. But Operation Dudula argues that government-funded facilities should only serve South Africans, and it's vowed to escalate its actions. DW's Dan Hawker has this report from Johannesburg.
South Africa xenophobia has reached new levels now. There are levels to xenophobia, and South Africa is like breaking every record. Like a few years ago, they killed a couple of people. Like every 2 or 3 years, there are normally some riots in South Africa where they're hunting down fellow African immigrants, like it's the Hunger Games. They kill a couple, it stops, and then 2 more years, they do it again and again and again. This time, they've reached a new level. So, like, we're going to have to look at this thing because it is so crazy that you just have to laugh sometimes, how ridiculous it gets, that to the point that you don't even want to cry, you just want to laugh. Because these are fellow Africans doing this to other Africans, while at the same time, their country government is opening the doors to expats or white immigrants who don't like even to call themselves immigrants. They are getting new visas to go to South Africa and work. We're going to look at all those clips, while the people at the bottom, crabs in a bucket, they're killing each other here, xenophobia in the projects. Enough talking. Let's just look at these ridiculous clips.
Which government? Which government? Which government?
Operation Dudula vigilantes are in the ward. This video was filmed inside a South African hospital. They are forcing immigrant patients to leave this public health facility. Confrontations like this have become commonplace at state-run hospitals. Operation Dudula are blocking immigrants from accessing health facilities. Just last week, 3 of the group's members were arrested for similar actions. The organization says it won't be stopped by the police.
There's nothing illegal by saving your country, and we will not stop.
There's nothing illegal saving your culture, and we will not stop. She has said it. How many times do you have to be told you are not wanted? I'm asking this to all the immigrants from Zimbabwe, from Nigeria. South Africa has told you time and time again, we do not want you here. We are going to delete you. We're going to prevent you from getting healthcare. We're going to do all these things to you, and you're still there. Like, I don't know how they have to say it. Do they have to say it in Zulu? They have to say it in Xhosa, or what's the other language? They have said it so many times that they do not want black African immigrants. They have said that. And it is quite disappointing, you know. I'm an African myself. And growing up, I used to see South Africa, you know, as this beacon. You know, you are listening, you watch all those movies, Sarafina and everything, and you thought, wow, this country was the thing for Africa. It was an example for Africa. But it turned out to be something else completely. And we're going to look at the hypocrisy of what's happening between the fellow Africans and what's happening to the white tourists and white immigrants. But let's continue with this. And man, it's unbelievable. Let's just continue.
DW visited a clinic in Katlehong, east of Johannesburg, and found Operation Dudula vigilantes conducting an illegal screening process. They were demanding the identity documents of anyone wanting to enter. The organization says immigrants should not benefit from state-funded health facilities.
Okay, our aim here, we're trying to protect our facilities in South Africa. We're coming to check the people that are coming in the clinics. is original South Africans, or they've got a legal document to be in South Africa.
This woman showed her Mozambican passport, and Dudula vigilantes refused to allow her in. The security at this clinic aren't doing anything to stop these ID checks. They say it's not part of their job description. The presence of Dudula implies that anyone who can't produce identification isn't allowed into the clinic. But to be clear, there's no official government policy that says anyone has to produce identification before entering a health facility. And the South African Constitution is very clear that everyone has a right to healthcare regardless of nationality. I challenged their regional convener with the text of the Constitution.
Everyone has a right to access healthcare services.
Yes.
Everyone.
Yes.
Including, then it continues to say, including reproductive health care. Right? Now, what do you say to that?
I said, they say everyone, except the...
No, there's no exception.
Okay.
The guy's like, except everyone, except who, if you're not South African. Like, these... It's like MAGA South African version. It's quite something to see. Like, it sounds like a parody if you don't know anything about it. It looks like a parody. Like, is this really happening? Yes, it's happening. It is happening, and it has been happening for years and years in South Africa. I'm just laughing about it because of how ridiculous it is. They have all the smoke in the world. All the smoke, all the heat in the world for fellow Africans. Like, if you're from Nigeria, man, they're gonna come for you. If you're from Mozambique, if you're from Zimbabwe, they are gonna hunt you down like it's the Hunger Games. But if you're from the UK or whatever, you're gonna be getting some hot stone massage with a happy ending. That's how South Africa treats immigrants. And it's quite funny and it's quite sad at the same time, because these are people who faced apartheid, and instead of complaining to their government, instead of blaming ANC, instead of blaming all their previous leaders who have stolen and done all these things, I'm speaking of you, Jacob Zuma, the ANC has done terrible leadership. Instead of putting all this anger on ANC, not protecting their borders, not doing everything, they are hunting down their fellow Africans. Is this a joke? Like, South Africans, are you fucking joking? Seriously? And I know you're gonna come, it's all angry, like it's our country, they should be staying there. And if you listen to me, I am actually agreeing. Yes, it is your country. You have a right to stay and do whatever. But why is it not balanced? For fellow Africans, you're willing to delete, maim, do all these things, ban their shops and everything. But when it comes to other communities that are lighter skinned, you don't have the energy. There are some neighborhoods in South Africa where the Indians have separated. There is a large Indians community in South Africa. They are separated. They are living their life. The whites, they are segregated. They have their own communities. But down here, the blacks, man, you are coming for your fellow black Africans like they're the devil, like they're the worst thing. Right now, you want them to die on the streets, not get health care. Man, let me just continue.
If they say everyone, you must understand here. If you say you're talking about everyone, the South African,
No, it's not talking about South African.
Everyone.
Everyone
Let's go to
is open.
Yes.
Everyone
Let's
is open. It doesn't say every South African.
Yes.
It says everyone.
So
You see, he could not even answer whatever. He cannot even interpret the constitution of their own country. But let's continue to this other clip and see. It covers it more detail and see what the hell is happening. And as we watch this other clip, please consider liking and subscribing.
It's 8 o'clock in the morning and members of Operation Dudula guard the Jeep clinic entrance to stop foreign nationals from getting inside. This Malawian woman who wants to be known as Pretty, brought her 6-month-old baby for mandatory immunization but was turned away.
I'm afraid about my baby not getting immunization. What's gonna come? You see, and we don't have money to go to the private clinic because it's too much expensive.
Operation Dudula has been carrying out this campaign in different parts of the country. It was registered as a political party last year, and it says it wants all the 10 million undocumented migrants out of South African borders. But latest official statistics from 2022 show that there were nearly 4 million foreign nationals in total, regardless of legal status.
I don't know, like I am not even South African, and I'm gonna tell my fellow South African, not fellow South Africans, my fellow Africans who are not South African, get the hell out of South Africa. I'm telling you that in the nicest way possible. You need to get out of South Africa because you are not wanted there. I don't know how many times do you have to be told. I know it is sad to say these people experienced apartheid and now they are turning against the people, the other Africans, and it should not happen. In an ideal world, it should not happen. But in the real world, people suck. That is the truth. These people despise you. These people are going to hurt you. They are going to physically hurt you, and you'll be lucky to live with your life. I'm saying that because South African government is incompetent. Crime is very bad. So if they decide all these people to start hunting you again, like they do every 2 years, like Hunger Games, there will be no one to protect you. So listen to this voice of mine. If you are Black African and you are poor, you are not like super rich living in the rich spots in Cape Town or whatever, just stay the hell out of South Africa. If you're African, just stay the hell away from South Africa. That's it. They have told you time and time again, they have deleted so many people who look like them. They keep on coming after you because they are blaming you and not their government. They should be blaming their government. They should be raiding the ANC for not serving, it makes no sense, man. It makes no fucking sense. I'm sorry for cursing, but these things get me so frustrated as a fellow African. I've heard South Africans say all the time, why don't they stay in their countries to fix their own countries? Yes, you're right. But why do you have to kill them? Why do you have to prevent them from getting health care? Why don't you have the same energy against your government? They are the ones failing you, but you are directing your anger to fellow Africans, which is ridiculous and one of the dumbest things I've ever seen in my life. South Africa, I know you guys don't travel to other countries much. You like to pride yourself as that. Like, no, we normally stay in South Africa. We are not immigrants like other Africans. Yes, you can have all that. You can have your country also. But this message is really for other Africans who are not South Africans. Get the point. You need to get it through your skull. These people don't want you. Get the hell out when you still can. Because when... Man, you know what? Let's just continue. I'm getting frustrated.
The anti-immigrant group blamed them for masterminding crimes, taking their jobs, overcrowding hospitals, and stealing medication for resale in their countries.
They must go to where they belong. They not belong to South Africa. They must go. And we will make sure, as Dudula, as Operation Dudula, we can make sure good these people, they must go.
How will you make sure? You can barely make sure keeping the fork down from the plate. Woman, like I don't mean to attack your appearance, but you look like you are well fed. You are well fed. You cannot make sure you're taking good care of your health, but you're here terrorizing other Africans. Like, it's so stupid. Put the energy against your government. Your government should be the one doing the deportations. Your government should be the one going to the hoods, to the poor neighborhoods, to the townships, getting all the illegal immigrants. Not you, Miss whoever you are. You want to get, you know what, enough. Let's continue.
They must go to their countries.
South Africa is the continent's most developed nation, and it remains a magnet for millions of African migrants. Organizations representing them say they are concerned.
You have migrants that have chronic illness who needs to be attended to. So if they then block them to get into these health facilities, there's a danger that we might lose some.
For many migrants in South Africa, hospitals and clinics have become no-go zones. Members of Operation Dudula take turns to guard entrances of these facilities, chasing away all they perceive as non-South Africans. The Department of Health denies accusations that they are colluding with Operation Dudula to conduct these illegal blockades at the entrances of public health facilities.
It's not a health issue, it's a criminal issue. You break in the law because the law of the country doesn't allow that. And anybody who breaks the law, you don't rush to the Minister of Health. You rush to ministers who are responsible for law enforcement.
But South African police are yet to respond to questions as to why they've failed to arrest members of Operation Dudula denying migrants access to health care. The move
like this is parody at this point. It's fucking parody. The South African government is becoming a failed state. I have to say it. It's becoming a failed state. Crime is rampant. People are frustrated in the bottom. Instead of blaming ANC and the government, they are out here hunting fellow black immigrants, fellow black Africans, like it's the Hunger Games. And, you know, let's listen to one of these Operation Dudula or Dudula people leadership saying what they say, why they are preventing people from entering and getting health care.
Tholakele Kwanyana is the provincial coordinator for Operation Dudula in Gauteng. She lives and works for the organization in Diepsloot.
Lama undocumented foreigners are complaining too much. Kula abana maphepha. Abo nurse nama sister wethu asebenza ama hours anga understandeki. Abana tea time, abana lunch.
Saying our nurses and sisters are overworked because of undocumented foreigners. So she is blaming the immigrants for staffing in the hospitals. Let's continue.
Ngendaba yalaba bantu bese bezokwazi ukucomplaina wonke ama complain ayiki South African eke yabeki complain I-complain ibuya kwi-foreign lizokutshela i-foreigner ukuthi uya kanjani elantshini ehola ngalo uhola ngalo libhadala malini i-foreign kumanje mathina ama-South Africans masiya kwi-government hospital kumele sibhadale something ngendaba yalaba bantu besingabhadali kuma-government hospitals besiya for free. Because of this influx of these people, now we have to pay. Samubuyisela isimo the way besingakhona. Before mawuye clinicini ubuphuma ngo-8 uye clinicini ufika ungene 9:30 uphumile clinic.
Okay, she is still saying that they used to have free health care, but now because of immigrants they have to pay. Is it really because of immigrants, or is it your government? Your government is the one supposed to be providing health care. They're failing at it. The staffing is shit. Now you're blaming the immigrants. But let's finish with your wise wisdom, Mrs. Operation Dudula.
Manje sekufanele uyolala khona because of these people, because ufuna ukuthola medication. So ukuze sikhathe lento yokulala eklinikini, South Africa for South Africans.
South Africa for South Africans. She's saying these immigrants are stealing medicine. They are lining up. They are doing all these things. South Africans now have to line up from 5 a.m. or 6 a.m. just to get health care. They need to go back because South Africa is for South Africans. This stuff reminds me of Rwanda so much. That is why I'm telling you guys, if you're an African, not born in South Africa, just get the hell out of South Africa. If you are especially black African, just get the hell out of South Africa because these people had you. And if you know what, maybe you forgot. Let me remind you what happened just a few years ago, because I say every 2-3 years South Africans hunt other Africans like Hunger Games. Let me remind you what happened.
Xenophobia violence seems to be spreading among foreign nationals here. In Germiston, east of Johannesburg, most shopkeepers from countries like Ethiopia, Somalia, and other parts of Africa have closed their businesses in anticipation of looting.
As you can see here, the police are protecting properties, businesses, shops that belong to African migrants. They said that they were attacked last night precisely because they are not South Africans.
I'm worried, I'm scared. I know how to protect myself because most of us here, we are citizens already.
At least 5 people were killed, including 2 South Africans, since the violence began last week.
You see, they've been deleting each other over xenophobia. And this was, I don't know how many years ago, a couple of years ago. It's been happening for decades and decades. Every 2 years, they hunt other Africans like the Hunger Games, killing and maiming and doing all these things, burning their shops, looting their shops. But you other Africans, you're not getting the clue. Like, what do I have to tell you? I am not even South African. I have not set foot in South Africa, and probably I will never set foot in South Africa. I'm sure you're gonna be saying thank God in the comments. So as you leave that comment, consider liking and subscribing. So anyway, I have no care for going to South Africa. I know it's a very beautiful place. I have seen YouTube videos and everything, but what I'm more concerned is for these other Africans. You need to look out for yourself, because what's the point of forcing yourself living in a place you're not wanted, and then you end up hurt or killed and your life changes forever, if you have a life even. But let's continue.
Locals who are behind the rioting have said foreign nationals are taking their jobs and opportunities. In the eastern coastal city of Durban, a march began by some 10,000 South Africans who are calling for an end to the attacks. The Chatsworth sports field south of Durban has been turned into a makeshift refugee camp. Here you will find families from Zimbabwe, Malawi, Mozambique, and many others from the rest of Africa. They told us that they escaped with the meager belongings they could salvage when the looters came.
If they take us back to our countries, maybe it's going to get better because we end up dying here.
I take South Africa as a bad country because they're killing us for no reason.
Okay, you know what? I'm not even going to cover this other old idiot, Jacob Zuma, the former president. I just wanted to remind you, refresh your memory in case you forgot xenophobia in South Africa. Let me remind you, refresh your memory. You see how the African immigrants are treated, legal or illegal. It's a human being. If somebody needs health care, that means they are in desperate need. They might be even on the verge of death, but they're like, no, you're not getting health care. So clearly they have no care for your life. Get the hell out of South Africa if you're not African. If you're not South African, you need to get the memo already. I'm just repeating the message. This was a long time ago. They've been doing that and doing that and doing that. You know, man, it's ridiculous. Let's just watch 30 seconds of this clip, and then I will show you how they treat now the white immigrants.
Is happening in our country is not acceptable.
President Jacob Zuma has been on national television condemning the senseless violence, and he is expected to address Parliament on the current situation. In 2008, at least 62 people died after the same chaos swept the country.
In 2008, 62 people were killed. It happens almost every 2 years. Get the hell out of South Africa. I don't know what you need to hear, but get the hell out of South Africa for your own good. Now, let's see how the white immigrants, the expats, are treated.
With its picture-perfect scenery, good weather and affordable cost of living for international visitors,
This is what I spent working as a digital nomad in Cape Town.
Cape Town is attracting a growing community of remote workers or digital nomads. Aside from a tourist visa, the government's implemented a new visa program that allows them to stay for up to 90 days. Natalie Brooks is from the UK and runs her own business online. She's been working remotely from Cape Town for up to 6 months at a time.
There's lots of money that's coming in for tourism, but also in lots of countries where there's a high digital nomad presence, the locals are getting very frustrated by the impact that it's having, particularly on accommodation. So I think that it's about looking at it in a holistic perspective and making sure that the government is putting in the right steps to manage the influx.
While more than 1 million workers here benefit from the tourism, there are others who say the growing demand for accommodation is making housing for locals more expensive. Hamida Jacobs is the third generation in her family living in this home in Bo-Kaap.
You know, as you can see, the white immigrants are there. They're posting TikTok, spreading their arms wide, feeling that fresh South African air in Cape Town, enjoying life. Meanwhile, the other Africans are being chased away like dogs in other places. But you're going to say, no, they're not the same. These are digital nomads. These are expats. You know, they're not normal immigrants. They're coming in with pounds, with dollars, and, you know, all this money. They're bringing opportunities. They're not like these others who are coming to take from South Africa. They're bringing crimes, you know, speaking like MAGA. They're bringing crimes. They're stealing drugs from our hospitals and all these. These are beautiful, good immigrants. I know that's what South Africans are thinking. You're stupid. That's all I can say. You are dumb if you're thinking that way, because an immigrant is an immigrant. These white immigrants are coming there. They are living in Airbnbs, pushing out the locals. The locals are now in their home, you know, homeless. But then instead of looking at your government that is giving them new digital nomad visas, you're out here chasing your fellow Africans. You know, enough. Let's just continue.
She says the demand for housing in a prime location means higher property values, but with it comes unaffordable rates and taxes.
Some people cannot afford to stay in the Bo-Kaap anymore, so they started selling their houses and selling their properties.
The local civic association agrees the cost of living in central areas like this has increased.
And of course the investors that's coming into Bo-Kaap, we can see more and more people buying the properties up and hiring it out for short-term rentals. But there's a negative and there's a positive. The negative is it breaks up the community, and the other thing is it hype up the rental.
So I'll just, let me just leave it there. You've seen it. You've seen the white immigrants. They're getting the red carpet. They're getting massage with a happy ending when they land into South Africa. But the black Africans are being chased away like dogs, like it's the Hunger Games. Instead of blaming the governments, they are blaming the other Africans. When these white ones are coming in Cape Town or whatever, there's rapid homelessness, rampant everywhere. Let me just show you 1 minute of homelessness in Cape Town so that you can see why I am all messed up in this video. I'm all messed up because it is not balanced it is not balanced xenophobia. If you're going to be xenophobic to everyone, not just the black ones. So South Africa, you need to do better. If you're going to be, hateful, at least be hateful to everyone, okay? Okay, so let's just look at the homelessness that is being made worse by these digital white expert nomads.
Tashifa November is used to living rough next to a busy road in South Africa. She and other homeless people could soon be evicted for illegally occupying public spaces in the city of Cape Town. Conditions here are basic, but they say they won't leave.
I'm not gonna move. I'm not gonna move. Where must we go to?
Cape Town's government has put some people in temporary accommodation sites called safe spaces. Officials say social workers are assisting the homeless. People can leave during the day, but at night they have to be back by a certain time or they will be locked out.
The shelter is located under a highway. The city has said that constitutes sufficient shelter from the elements. So people will sleep effectively on the floor underneath the carport. And you can understand that in rainy and windy conditions that it's still going to be terribly cold and not so comfortable.
So basically they are living under a bridge, just like the saying goes, like you're homeless, you're living under a bridge because you cannot afford rent and everything in Cape Town. But hey, like the government says, let's open up more Airbnbs, the visa process, so that more Airbnbs are used up and more people cannot afford it. It's ridiculous. The South African government is a joke. Focus your anger on your government, South Africans. They are the ones responsible for manning the borders. They should be watching the borders. They should be giving you electricity. You should not be having those load, what would they call it, load bearing or load whatever that they used to ration electricity. But then now you are channeling your anger on the wrong people. Let's just continue with this video. It's been too long already, this clip, but this video, but let's just finish up.
Don't touch me! Hey, don't touch me!
Forced evictions are not new to Cape Town, but they are often chaotic and violent as people fight to stay on the streets.
Many of these people, for decades, some of them, has been subjected to a great deal of brutality from the city of Cape Town. So number one, they don't feel safe. They don't feel safe that they can trust the city.
Poverty, unemployment and housing shortages are some of the reasons why people are on the streets. The COVID-19 pandemic made things worse, added to the numbers.
A few years ago, homeless people were removed from this area of Cape Town. City officials put up these rocks, making it very hard for families to live here. But a few came back. They insist they have nowhere else to go.
Let's just stop the video right there. I've had enough. South Africans, you need to do better. At least let people get the medicine before you kick them out, okay? Don't let children die out there. No immunization. It's very inhumane. It's very inhumane. I know you want your country back. You feel you've lost it. It's your right. It's your country. You will have it back. But at least remember to be human in the process, okay? That's all I'm asking as a fellow African who has never set foot in South Africa and will never set foot in South Africa. So yes, you can be happy about that also. And as you're watching and typing the angry comments, please like, subscribe, and of course share this on all the networks. I'll see you.
Oh my goodness, all the networks. Wow. All the networks.